Well, India and Australia have celebrated their friendship with a night of revelry in Sydney. The city pulled out all the stops to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has vowed an increase in trade and investment into the country. Mr. Modi received a rock-star welcome at a large arena in Sydney's western suburbs. An estimated 20,000 people packed the stadium. Mr. Modi thanked Australia for being a home to some 800,000 Indian diaspora and hailed diverse cultural exchanges as a cornerstone of bilateral relations.
Mutual trust और mutual respect सिर्फ भारत ऑस्ट्रेलिया के डिप्लोमेटिक रिश्तों से विकसित नहीं हुआ है। इसकी असली वजह है, इसकी असली ताकत है आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रहने वाले हर एक भारतीय।
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese extended a personal welcome to Mr. Modi. He says India and Australia are closer friends and partners than ever before. The two leaders will hold discussions on economic ties, renewable energy and defence cooperation.
I have met the Prime Minister, my friend, 6 times. But absolutely nothing beats standing with him on a stage like this, looking out at this magnificent sea of faces. What an honour.
And for more, Ishan Garg joins us live from New Delhi. Ishan, Prime Minister Modi seems to have received a very special welcome to Australia. Why is this visit so important to relations between the nations?
Well, this visit is very important because, firstly, it highlights India's commitment towards its eastern neighbours as well. And analysts say that this visit to Australia of Prime Minister Modi should be seen as the next logical step in his recent visit to Papua New Guinea as well as to Japan. And it highlights how India is looking for new partners and for strengthening relationships with old partners, not only in the Western world, but also in the Eastern world, especially with Australia. Now, in Australia, there are several reasons why India is now deeply interested in forging closer ties. There's firstly the question of the Indo-Pacific region. Both these countries have time and again called for an open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. And to that effect, analysts say India believes Australia is a very real and worthy partner. Then there's the question of investment and trade. India is looking for more investors to come in, set up shop in India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Make in India program. And for that, Australia also becomes a very attractive partner. And then there is the question of trade. The two countries are looking to build on their currently existing trade deals, and the hope is that they would be able to double their bilateral trade in the next 5 years. But perhaps most important of all, for this first leg of Prime Minister Modi's trip was the Indian diaspora in Australia that he called as human bridge between the two countries. And there comes the domestic part of this equation. Analysts say that with an eye on the upcoming general elections next year, Prime Minister Modi is also looking now to woo the diaspora communities abroad because they serve as a very crucial part of India's foreign policy considerations. And therefore, it's a mix of international relations as well as domestic ties that's made this trip very crucial for Prime Minister Modi.
All right, Ishan, the footage that we were showing as you were speaking to us, very warm embraces and, of course, very warm rhetoric as well between the two leaders. They will also have private talks. And what can we expect to come out of these private talks between Mr. Modi and Mr. Albanese?
Well, these talks are mostly likely to focus on building on the trade negotiations that have been going on between India and Australia. And there is there's a sense between the two countries to finalize the deal by the end of this year. There's the same trade deal that's likely to bolster trade between the two countries, double it in the next 5 years. And there's also going to be talks about engagements on climate change, how developed nations like Australia can support India in climate financing. And finally, there's also speculations that India and Australia are also going to talk about defense cooperation. These two countries already hold military exercises in the Indo-Pacific region. But now as India is looking for more defense partners, looking to move away from Russia for its reliance for defense products, that might also be on the cards apart from trade and investment between the two countries.
Oh, thanks for joining us live. Ishan Garg there from New Delhi.